Some stories are not bound by time. Some love refuses to fade. And some souls, no matter how far they go, always find their way back home. This is the story of a woman who left too soon, and the girl who returned. The night was quiet. Too quiet for a hospital that had just lost a life. Rain tapped softly against the windows. The kind of rain that didn't rush, as if even time itself had slowed down. Inside the room, the machines fell silent. Amara was gone. She was only 32. A loving wife, a devoted mother, the kind of woman who remembered the little things. Birthdays, favorite songs, the way people liked their tea. Her laughter didn't just fill rooms, it stayed in them. By her bedside sat her husband Mathew, holding her hand, as if letting go would make everything disappear. "Please, don't leave us." His voice barely existed. Across the room, their little girl Lily clutched her teddy bear tightly. "Mummy is sleeping, right?" Her eyes searched the room, waiting for someone to agree. But no one did, because some truths arrive too early and stay forever. The days after felt unreal. People came, people cried, people left, but the silence stayed. The house, once full of laughter, became something else. Something hollow. Mathew stopped opening the curtains. Sunlight no longer felt welcome. Lily would sit by the stairs, waiting, sometimes for hours, as if her mother might walk through the door and say it was all a mistake. Before the silence, there was life. Real life. Messy, loud, beautiful life. Sunday mornings smelled like fresh bread and warm butter melting slowly. Soft music would play in the kitchen. Amara, always barefoot, would hum along as she moved. She would grab Mathew's hand without warning. "Come on, just one dance." "I don't dance." "You do now." And somehow, he always did. Lily would spin between them, laughing so hard she could barely stand. "Again, Mummy." Amara would laugh. That kind of laugh you don't forget. She left love everywhere. Little notes tucked into drawers, inside coat pockets, under pillows. "Don't forget to smile today. You were stronger than you think. I love you. Always." She didn't just live in that house. She made it feel like home. But life doesn't ask for permission. It changes suddenly. A complication no one expected. Doctors moving too fast. Voices overlapping. Hope slipping quietly away. And then, nothing. At the exact moment Amara took her final breath, in another room, a baby cried. A strong cry, full of life. A little girl, born in the same hospital. At the same time. Same night. Same hour. As if the world had made space for something to return. Years passed. Not quickly, not gently, but heavily. Mathew stayed in that house. Not because it was easy, but because leaving felt impossible. Every wall held a memory. Every room, a piece of her. Her shoes still sat by the door. Her favorite mug, untouched. Her voice still echoing in quiet moments. His hair turned grey too soon, and his smile became something rare. Lily grew older, but grief grew with her. She learned to laugh again, but never fully. Sometimes she would sit alone, reading the little notes her mother left behind, tracing the handwriting as if it could bring her closer. "Mummy," she would whisper, not expecting an answer, but hoping anyway. Across the city, a girl named Aria grew up. She was everything people admired. Kind, gentle, thoughtful. The type of person who noticed when others were sad, who stayed when everyone else left. But there was something unusual, something quiet, but constant. A feeling she had carried her whole life. Like she was missing something she had never known. It started with small things, unexplainable things. She would recognize places she had never been, know songs she had never heard, feel emotions that didn't feel like her own. One day in class, she spoke a word fluently, a word she had never learned. "Where did you learn that?" "I don't know." Even she didn't believe her answer. Then came the dreams. Not ordinary dreams. They felt real. Too real. A house. Warm. Familiar. Filled with light. A man sitting quietly, carrying something heavy in his eyes. A little girl laughing, running toward her. "Mummy," the word echoed long after she woke up. She would sit up suddenly, heart racing, tears already falling, but she never knew why. The dreams became stronger, clearer, closer, until one day they stopped being dreams and started feeling like memories. One afternoon, without planning, without thinking, she started walking, not towards anything she knew, but towards something she felt. Street after street, turn after turn, as if her feet already knew the way, until she stopped, in front of a house. Her breath caught, her chest tightened. "I know this place." But she didn't. At least, she wasn't supposed to. The air felt different there. Heavy, but warm. Like it had been waiting. Her eyes moved slowly, taking everything in. Then, the flowers. Something about them pulled her in. She stepped closer, kneeling down, her hands gently brushing the petals aside. And then, she felt it. Something hidden. Her fingers closed around it. A small key. Cold, familiar, as if it had been waiting for her. Her heart began to race. Not from fear, from recognition. She stood, walked to the door, and without hesitation, opened it. Inside, Mathew heard the sound. The door. He turned and froze. A girl stood there. A stranger. Yet something about her felt impossible to ignore. "Can I help you?" I don't know why I'm here." She left that day. But something had already begun. She came back. Again. And again. Each visit, unlocking something. The way she moved through the house. The way she paused at certain places. The way her eyes softened. Like she remembered. She knew where things used to be, even when they were no longer there. Mathew began to notice. And so did Lily. One evening, she stood in the kitchen, her fingers tracing the edge of the counter. "I used to stand here." The words slipped out softly. She froze, because she didn't understand them, but they felt true. Days later, she stood by the stairs, looking up, tears filling her eyes. "I remember this." And then, it happened. She looked at him, not as a stranger, not as a visitor, but as someone who had known him deeply. Mathew. The name landed gently, but changed everything. Silence filled the room. The kind of silence that carries meaning. His heart pounded. Not with fear, but with something else. Something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. The memories returned slowly. Not all at once, but enough. Laughter. Music. Love. A life that once existed. I didn't want to leave you. Her voice broke. I tried to stay. I found my way back. Lily stood frozen, tears falling before she could stop them. In her hands, a small piece of paper. One of the notes. The handwriting identical. She looked up, shaking. Mummy? Mathew stepped forward, his voice barely a whisper. Amara. She wasn't the same woman. Not in face. Not in time. But in the way she loved. Nothing had changed. And sometimes, love doesn't need everything back. Sometimes, it only needs enough. Because some souls never truly leave. They wait. They remember. They return. And somehow, against everything, they find their way home.